Part of the reason that we split chapter 15 across 2 days is because we meet a number of new characters. There's an important bit of action that sets things up for the rest of the book. And there are 2 separate events that happen with this Tempest in the School Teapot. So it will be easier to summarize each of them separately. The part that we've already read is the beginning of chapter 15. Those main characters, Anne, but now that we're at school, we have Diana, who is Anne's best friend. Remember, we met Diana back in chapter 12. Anne, Diana, probably the teacher would be important to know. Some of the other students will come up again, so as they get important in the action of chapters, we will include them. There's only one other student who's really important in the action of this chapter. That would be Gilbert, and his last name is Blythe. After this, we'll just write him in as Gilbert, but the first time we include him, it's a good idea to be sure that we are understanding exactly who he is. What is the main action in this chapter? Anne starts school. She gets along okay until Gilbert joins. He calls Anne carrots. Why? Well, first of all, those are his exact words, so we'll put the quotation marks. The why is to get her attention. She gives him her attention, all right. We won't put that. She breaks, could have said smashes, but breaks works as well, her slate over Gilbert's head and will not forgive him when he asks. All right, now we had ended the section of chapter 15 with a bit of foreshadowing, and that foreshadowing is going to tie into your assignment for today. So just to remind you of the foreshadowing that happened, the last bit that I read to you was, it is possible the matter might have blown over without more excruciation if nothing else had happened. But when things begin to happen, they are apt to keep on. Your homework assignment for today, your graded assignment for today, is going to look like this. I'll show you where to find it after I'm done talking about it. What you might want to do after you listen to this video, it would probably be a good idea to get the homework assignment open and keep it open while you listen to the rest of the chapter of Anne. There are definite parts you could do before listening to the chapter, but the paragraph that is your last part of the assignment, this should wait until you are done listening to chapter 15. This assignment has you use an image to help you understand some of the historical details. There are some things that have already been described in this chapter that would make more sense having a better picture in your head of what these one-room country schools looked like. And so this is an actual photograph of a one-room country school, probably taken around 1900. What do you see that proves this image is a school? So just looking in this picture, what do you notice about the people? How they're organized, what they are doing? Your answer should start out by saying, details that prove this image is a school are, that would probably be the best way to start this answer. Or you could start out with some of the details and say this and this prove the image shows a school. You're looking for proof that this is a school. It does look very different from our schools, which goes into the second question. What do you see that proves this is a historical photograph? So to be historical, you are going to point out facts that are different about this photograph than schools now. I'm just going to enlarge it for a bit here. Sometimes that helps. One thing that I want to point out to you, you can see these are not regular screens. This is actually like a diamond shape, almost like the fences around our playground that's over top of the windows. That is because the students were allowed to play pretty active ball games right up next to the school. And often the balls would hit the windows and they couldn't afford new windows. So they put this strong metal mesh over top of the windows to protect them. You may not use that as a detail to prove this is a historical photograph. You wouldn't have noticed that without me pointing it out. But that is one detail that is different from schools in the 1900s versus the schools now. What else is different? Think about fashion. What students wear, what their hair is like. Think about how they're sitting. What do our desks look like? Think about what they're using to learn from. Think about what other tools we use to learn from. Think about the ages of the students that you see. Is that how our classrooms would look? So anything that proves this is a historical photograph would be facts that are not true of schools now, but were true of schools back in the 1900s at the time that Anne was happening. Number 3 is focusing you on facts about the seating. And then I've given you some things to look at. You don't have to include all of these, but you could. You need to talk about possibly how close are the children sitting? What do you notice about the ages? Where are the older children? Where are the younger children? Where are the boys and where are the girls? So think about what it's like about where they're sitting. The next question focuses you on the desks. So where is the seat and where is the desk? If you look closely, you'll see, okay, this little girl is sitting here. She doesn't have a desk in front of her though, does she? So these little girls are sitting on this bench. What are they using for their work surface? Remember at the beginning of chapter 15, it talked about how Gilbert was pinning the hair, the long hair of Ruby Gillis to the back of her seat. Well, can you see how one of these boys, if there was a girl sitting in front of him, he could reach forward and pin the hair right to the back of the seat. So 3 facts that you see about the seating. These do not have to be complete sentences. They just need to be 3 separate facts. Good idea to number them. At the desks, where's the seat? Where's the workspace? So you could answer this in one sentence. At the desks, the seat is, all right, where is it? And the workspace is, and then finish that. Put a period at the end of the sentence. Number 5, this one has to be a paragraph. And this one we'll talk about as you listen to chapter 15 with me, the rest of chapter 15. How do details of this image help you understand the interactions of the students in chapter 15? the way they relate to each other, why something is so upsetting based on the way that they are seated in the school building. So this is your assignment. Where can you find it? Well, in the Google Classroom, you will go into Yoder's. Remember, it always comes up in the stream first, but you never want to open the assignment from the stream. You can miss things very easily. You want to go to the classwork tab. So if you can see my daddy driving the hay baler, you're not at the right spot. Go to classwork. Classwork, it is Friday, January 8th that you should be doing this. You open that schedule. And it's not totally the way it will look for you because I'm working on this on bits and pieces. However, this is what the reading assignment looks like. So if you don't do the assignment in the link that I'm about to show you, you can write down on regular paper number 1 and answer the question, number 2 and answer the question, and so forth like I've just explained. However, you could also go to this link, which will take you into an assignment that looks like, all right, give me a second. I thought I had it up. I gotta go someplace else to bring it up momentarily. You don't need to worry about all of these. It will pull it up for you right away. This is what yours will look like if you do it in the link. So that link that I just clicked on, you'll have to log in with Google, but then it'll give you this worksheet. You type into these boxes. Make sure that you use words of the sentence to begin your answer. This one, you don't need sentences, but I've pulled out for you. One of your facts goes here. Your second fact goes here. Your third fact goes here. Your answer's here. Your paragraph in this one. And when you hit check my answers, it will show you possible answers, but please know that I do not take the score that it shows up. I've been telling you this, but just a reminder, I always look at your answers because there are so many possible answers. The reason it gives you a score on assignments like this is because I want it to show you really thorough and well-written answers, answers that restate words of the question to begin the answer. If that's what I expect you to do, I want you to be able to see good examples to get that in your head. Do take some time to make sure you have these thoroughly answered. So that is the explanation and assignment part of Chapter 15. I am going to put the reading in a separate video because this one's already pretty long.